So when I reviewed Huawei's Freebuds 3 true wireless earbuds, I found that they were good in a lot of ways, but also fatally flawed because of that hard shell design, which for one made them about as comfortable to shove in your ears as a pair of pine cones, and also basically rendered that active noise cancellation completely pointless. But thankfully that design has been completely refreshed for the new Huawei Freebuds Pro, which are another pair of premium true wireless earbuds, this time sporting some very smart active noise cancellation and, huzzah, some actual silicone tips. But are these dinky buds actually worth splurging on? Well, I've had them lodged in my lug holes all week long, and here is my full Huawei Freebuds Pro review. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So these right here are the carbon black model, and they are unsurprisingly very black, but you can also grab the Huawei Freebuds Pro in silver frost or ceramic white if you'd prefer something a bit lighter. They've got smaller stems than before, which in my book is definitely a good thing, and it's actually quite a boxy design as well, whereas most rivals are curved, and that definitely helps them to stand out against rivals. Thankfully, they're most definitely not boxy on the bit that you actually shove inside of your ear flap. They're nice and curved and got that ergonomic design on the go, so it just fits neatly into your lug hole. And of course, with those silicone tips in there as well, it really raises the comfort level, means you can have them in there for hours at a time. And they don't feel like they're about to slip out, even if you're getting a bit of mosh action on the go. And as usual, you get 3 different sizes of silicone tip bundled in the box, so you can find one that fits your own particular lug holes nice and neatly. And Huawei's AI Life app can actually try and identify the one that will be best suited for your own particular ear shape if for some reason you're struggling to tell yourself. Now, actually pairing up your Huawei Freebuds Pro with your smartphone is easier than nicking a Twix from a sleeping toddler. All you got to do is flip that lid and then hold down this super dinky button, which is pretty much invisible on the side of the case. And you'll see that the light on the inside will start flashing white. And you can then pair up with your smartphone through the Bluetooth menus nice and easy. In fact, the only tricky part is then actually getting the Freebuds Pro out of their case, because they're so curvy and so slippery, and that magnetic hold is so good that they really don't want to come out. It usually takes some serious pinching to actually encourage the little to vacate their home. Come on, you little buggers, you know you want to. Out you come! And when you do finally manage to stick them in your ears, I found I had absolutely no issues with connectivity at all here on the Freebuds Pro. Connection stays strong and stable, even if you want a bit of a distance away from your smartphone or whatever is streaming the music. Of course, I haven't been able to properly stress test them by going to an airport or a busy train station or anything. Not really the best of plans, but hopefully they'll cope fine, because the Freebuds 3 certainly did. Now, on the outer edge of the stems here on the Freebuds Pro, you get what Huawei is terming a force sensor, and this basically allows you to control your media and your phone calls and the like with quick squeezes and swipes. So for instance, one quick squeeze will pause your music, another quick squeeze will resume it again. You can double squeeze in order to skip forward a track, and then triple squeeze in order to skip back a track. If you squeeze and hold, or long squeeze as I like to call it, then that will turn on ANC or knock it back off again. And last up, you can also slide your finger up or down the stem in order to raise or lower the volume. Now, I did find that the force sensor was a little tricky to get the hang of at first. I kept squeezing the stem in just not quite the right area, but eventually you sort of get the hang of it, and the double and triple squeezes took a little bit of getting used to as well. But once you get the hang of it, it's a perfectly good system, and you got a little bit of customization via the AI Life app, or actually via the Bluetooth menus if you're using a Huawei smartphone like the P40 Pro. So for instance, instead of having a long squeeze activate ANC, you can actually assign that to the voice assistant on your smartphone instead. And you also get accurate in-ear detection with the Freebuds Pro as well, so if you pluck out a bud, your music will immediately pause, and then when you shove it back in there, it will resume. Now, one of the best things about the Freebuds 3 was definitely the sound quality, and once again you get some really strong output here on the Freebuds Pro, although it's now a smaller 11mm dynamic driver compared with the 14mm, which was, to be fair, quite big for a pair of true wireless earbuds stuffed inside the Freebuds 3. All the same, the clarity remains super strong here on the Freebuds Pro, helped along by Huawei's very clever sound stabilization. The audio is well balanced across the range with perfectly respectable bass, although I would have preferred it if drums had a bit more of a kick to it. Some rock and metal tracks did sound a little bit flat. I'd say if you're into your rock, maybe check out the Sennheiser 450BTs, which I just reviewed, or maybe the Jabra Elite 75Ts. They seem to give them a bit more punch, but overall can't complain about the sound quality. Certainly for a pair of true wireless earbuds, they are very good indeed. And like the Freebuds 3, you once again have full active noise cancellation here on the Freebuds Pro, but unlike unlike the Freebuds 3, it actually works on these Morphos because you've got that silicone tip which forms a proper seal inside of your lug hole. As I mentioned before, you can activate that ANC at any time with a long squeeze of either stem, and Huawei promises up to 40 decibels of noise cancellation from these buds. And let me tell you what, when I took them out and about on a busy high street, it was miraculous. Cars will glide by you, making little more than a whisper quiet hum, and even diesel guzzling tanks will sound like they're running on electric. And not only that, but the Freebuds Pro can actually intelligently raise or lower the level of the ANC based on the ambient noise. So for instance, if you're just chilling in a quiet office or a cafe, it'll be on cozy mode, so a low level of ANC. The general mode is if you're on a high street or something like that, so like traffic and other noise. And then you've got ultra mode when you're on board a plane or something with that really annoying persistent ramble. And sadly I haven't been able to test out, of course, the Freebuds Pro on a plane because, yeah, again, not a great idea right now. But I'll tell you what, if you are constantly out and about and you want a nice little bit of peace and quiet, you want to cut out all of the clamour going on all around you, these Freebuds Pro will definitely do the job. But if you find you actually want to let in the noise that's going on all around you, for instance, some inconsiderate git has started talking at you, no worries, just another long press of that stem and you'll be in what Huawei has dubbed awareness mode. And I found that in this mode, as long as I wasn't listening to, you know, super crazy heavy metal, I could have a conversation with people going all around me, no problem at all. Just saves you having to fiddle around, yanking out the buds, potentially dropping them on the floor, anything like that. And those external mics aren't just used for the ANC, they're also used for when you're on a phone call. So what you got here is a triple mic setup, and you've also got the same bone conduction tech from the Freebuds 3 as well, just detects exactly when you're speaking and helps to cut out all of the external crap going on all around you. Well, we've even chucked in an anti-wind filter, which has got nothing to do with that vindaloo you had last night. And the result is basically crystal clear clarity when you're on a phone call. The person at the other end of the line had no problem picking up my voice, even with a fair bit of noise going on all around me, and I had no problem hearing them either. I found that the battery life had also really improved for the Pro model over the Freebuds 3 as well. So the Freebuds 3 used to get about sort of 4.5 hours of use per charge. I found that with the Freebuds Pro, I got between 7 and 8 hours of use. That's with ANC knocked off. With ANC on, you can reduce that by about an hour or two, but even then, it's still pretty decent for a pair of true wireless earbuds. And when the Freebuds Pro do need a recharge, no worries at all. Just slip them back inside of their little coffin. You'll notice there's an LED light up top which flashes. This will be red if they're pretty much dead, or green if they've got plenty of charge on them. And down here on the arse end of the case, you've got a separate LED as well, and that will flash red when the actual case itself is almost out of battery charge in order to either plug it in via Type-C USB, otherwise it also supports wireless charging as well. Huawei reckons you'll get a combined 30 hours of use between the buds and the case as well, and I think that's reasonably accurate as long as, again, you leave that ANC switched off. So there you have it, that's my review of the Huawei Freebuds Pro. Definitely a very strong pair of true wireless earbuds, and basically what the Freebuds 3 should have been. They finally fixed the design issue, they've boosted up that ANC, and yeah, if you want noise cancellation and a pair of wireless earbuds, job done. So are you tempted by the Freebuds Pro, or perhaps you've been using them yourself? Definitely be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below, and please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. Cheers everyone, love you!